It's Sparkles. On today's journey, I want to talk to you about why you might want to consider buying once and crying once and getting the good stuff the first time. Let's get started. See, I didn't always buy once, cry once. I was one of those people like, let's buy the cheap stuff. Let's just get whatever. We'll think about it later. And then as I got older, I won't say how old, I realized that maybe that wasn't the best thing for my finances. Because I would buy some cheap stuff and it would break or it would quit working and then I had to buy it again. Let's imagine that after taxes, insurance, the government, you take home $20 an hour out of your paycheck. That's what you get. How many hours do you want to work for trinkets and things that are going to break and aren't going to hold up to the test of time? What if you did something different? What if you decided today that you're worth it? You're worth the better quality, the things that are going to last you a lot longer. What does that look like? Let me show you some of the stuff that my husband and we decided it was better to buy the good stuff the first time. So imagine you love to cook. You love to bake. So what do you really need? Do you need a great big monster mixer? Or will the little guy work just fine for you? That's all in what you're going to do with it. But a lot of us get caught up in, well, everybody's got one of these. I need one of these. Do you really? How much are you going to use something like that? Because once you spend the money and it sits in the corner and you don't use it, and you have that guilt, and then that's money you don't have for something else. Now both of these will make delicious meals and goodies, and the brownies my husband makes with the peanut butter swirl. Do you really need this? Because when you ask yourself, what do I really want? Instead of, what are all the other people getting? How much am I going to use it? And then from there, do your reviews, ask your friends, and see what's the best thing for your money. And we live in Arizona. The hot sun, it eats plastic. We invested in our future joy after having about 4 wooden rocking chairs that did not stand up to the Arizona heat. These rockers are quite old. And yes, some people would say, you spent how much on some rocking chairs? But for us, we sit in these almost every day and enjoy our coffee before work. On the weekends, we hang out outside when it's nice out. To us, it was worth the money that we spent on it. How many things do you have that you're glad that you spent a little bit more on and got the good stuff the first time? Hanging out in the kitchen a lot today because most of us have a kitchen. Sometimes we see something on TV, maybe an air fryer, and we think, I need that. When we needed an air fryer, I didn't know if we were going to use one. And now there's really fancy ones out there. And my thought was, you know what? I don't know how much I'm going to use it, so I'm going to get a basic one. Well, I got basic. I found this at the thrift store, new in the box. It's got a temperature dial and a time dial. That's it. You don't have to have fancy. You have to have what works for you. Now, maybe someday we would upgrade to something better, but for what we use it for, this is just perfect. And if at some point I decide we don't use it enough, I won't feel bad taking it back to the thrift store. And sometimes we get caught up in everything's got to match. Everything's got to be perfect. What makes you happy? What brings you joy? I live in a camper. I don't have a lot of space. For my wedding, I was given some dishes. Those dishes have lasted forever. I won't tell you the brand, but this dish I was given over 30 years ago. Now I've only broke one of these. I dropped it on a concrete floor and that was the end of it. I love these dishes because they stack nice. That's what I'm looking for. Maybe someone else is looking for something really pretty, Um, we got a set of dishes one time from a family member that was into selling a certain brand. This is one piece that's left out of that set that I kept. But I had bowls and plates that all matched this little spoon rest. They were beautiful. Problem was they didn't stack, and they were so heavy they made our food cold. Those are things you maybe don't think about when you're buying something. But if you look critically at something, think about, I call it the ook factor. Can I get this clean? Where's the ook going to build up? When you look at things a little more critically before you spend your money, you might find that there's something about that design or how that stacks that maybe you're not going to enjoy in the future. Be better to save the money and get what you want the first time than to find out later that it's not going to work for you. And when our coffee maker that took pods that were expensive, when our second one died, it was time to get a different coffee maker. And we did some research and we asked ourselves, what do we want? We want something easy, something that's going to last. So we did our research and we ended up with this. It has no frills. It's a half pot, a full pot, on and off. That's it. That's what we wanted. We wanted durable, reliable, easy to clean. And that's what we saved our money up and got the one that we've gotten. Thank you for being part of my journey today. I'm sending you light and love and a bucket of sparkles, that you remember that you're awesome, that you deserve the good stuff, and that you will decide to buy once, cry once, and get the things that you really want.